Hi, everyone. My name is Chiara Marrapodi, and I want to share my gift with you. I've been able to connect with animals in a very special way since I was very young, and I can feel them. I feel how they experience life. I sense their bodies through mine, and it's one of my life's passions and purposes to support animals and humans to understand each other, to connect with each other, and to bond deeply from a deeply heart-centered perspective. So I wanted to connect in person with wild horses for many years. And I have the privilege of meeting Bill Simpson. Bill has a nonprofit called the Wild Horse Fire Brigade, and his nonprofit is dedicated to changing the lives of wild horses. And many of you may not know that the wild horses in America, on our American plains, are on the brink of extinction. Many of them are rounded up in a horrific way and taken to slaughterhouses or repurposed as domesticated horses in the horse world. But what happens when they are rounded up? Many die, many don't make it, many are injured, many families are broken up. And, this is detrimental to the mental and emotional well-being of the equid or the equine. And for them, affiliation is everything. Their existence is about their affiliation with their families and the land and cohesion between them. And, being terribly fearful when they're caught, putting in a round pen and being captured, often not having a lot of resources, that takes a toll on them, and most especially being separated from their families, their horse families. And so because of this and the nature of the roundups, I do feel that these wild horses have PTSD. And many of them, as I said before, they end up at slaughterhouses because they're need to send overseas. But it's a travesty, I feel, that wild horses with ancient DNA of the original wild horses here on the American plains are treated this way. I feel that they're sacred to the land and they're sentient beings, and they do have internal realities and internal lives. And as guardians of this planet, treating them like this is disrespectful, but not just to the equids or the equines themselves, the horses, but also to the land. And, what Bill has told me and what the research is showing is that they actually prevent wildfires. So a lot of the kindling, the dry grass and the brush is what they eat and they forage on and they browse on. So that prevents very hot wildfires, which have been devastating to places like the West Coast. And so, according to Bill and his organization, one solution would be to take the wild horses to critical wilderness areas where both the horses and the environment can thrive and not disrupt any industry or public land. So recently, the reason why I'm creating this video is because recently I had the privilege of meeting Bill Simpson and the wild horses that are on the land where he lives. And I had the privilege of interacting and connecting with the wild horses, and many of them came to me of their own doing, of their own volition, and allowed me to touch them, to do energy work with them and acupressure with them. And I can only describe that as it's undescribable, the feeling of peace, the feeling of connectedness, the feeling of cohesion, and the feeling of them accepting me, a human, in their fold to be able to support them and facilitate change for them. So in the video that you're going to watch, it's with me in a wild foal, and she had been attacked by some coyotes soon after birth, and she'd been carrying this trauma with her throughout her life. And because my speciality, one of the specialities, is trauma and stress recovery in humans and animals, I wanted to see whether or not she wanted some energy work and acupressure done. And it doesn't need to be done on the body for me. And, as a caveat, I do have an off the track thoroughbred. Her name is Sasky, and she had PTSD. And I learned a great deal about PTSD and how it shows up for animals and what to look for, and also to help her through the support and recovery from that. And I do that, as I said, for animals and humans now too, because of her. So she really changed my life. And animals do that. They change our lives and they open our hearts. So as you watch this video, keep in mind that nothing was rehearsed. And so what you're going to see is a live connection, live energy work between me and the wild foal, and how she came to me and how I worked through her timeline, most specifically the trauma that she experienced from her attack from a coyote. I also want to take this opportunity to thank Bill Simpson and the Wild Horse Fire Brigade for allowing me the opportunity to meet them and to be with the wild horses. And most of all, I want to thank the wild horses themselves for allowing me into their fold, trusting me, and giving me the privilege, which is truly sacred to me, of their presence, and to be able to support them as best that I can within what they decide. So, the horses were free. They decided when it was time for them, they decided when it was done. And I really appreciate the ability to be able to have this experience. So I invite you to visit the Wild Horse Fire Brigade website and find out a little bit more about what they do. It's a very important organization. And you can do that by going to www.wildhorsefirebrigade.org. And to connect with me if you want to, you have my website right there behind me as part of my banner. I do hope that you enjoy this video and yes, connect with me. Thank you.
Yeah, she'll come over. Go ahead and scratch her chest now. Walk up real slow and scratch her chest.
I was basically telling her that she's safe and I'm here to help her. And the way that we're going to support her is to really go back in time. And I received it when we were walking up here, go back in time to when she was falling through the stars. I don't know how else to explain it to you. So she's ready. I just wanted to greet her. I'm not a threat, I'm down there. And so she can be safe with me. Here we go. She knows. She's ready. Yeah, she's ready. Are we ready? Okay. So I'm just going to go back into the timeline because everyone has a timeline. Back into the timeline, and I'm going to find when she was born. Alright, didn't have time to get in the body. There you go. Get into the body. I'm safe now. There it is. She breathed out. We have some change. Good girl. She's safe. You're going to be okay. There you go. Big picture also of the horse. There it is. Put her breathing. Nice. There you go. Good girl. So now you can come into your body. So I'm going to connect her brain to the rest of the body in a different way. So it's like craniosacral almost, but it's off the body. We're just not going to touch. And she can move around. Energy's moving around. Oh, she's positioning herself. Oh, thank you. So, you're showing me your souls. Okay. There we go. That's it. I'm going to do that to the shoulder to there, on both sides. There we go. Good girl. Very nice. That's one side. For the other side. I'm going to rebuild the matrix right here for her in a minute.